Hey, what's up? This is Brandon Simmons for BrandonSimmons.biz. This is my weekly video blog called Bullheaded, a review of the Houston Texans news as well as a preview of the upcoming game matchups. So, if you're watching this right now from Facebook Live, I surely do appreciate you. I had a couple issues with my camera, so I didn't have it available and ready to go. So, I'm on here on live, trying to get this thing pushed out to y'all for the week. I'm not gonna be here too long, man. It's Christmas Eve. I might post this on Christmas or day after Christmas or whatever. So, just if you're here, I appreciate it. If you just while watching it, sipping some cocoa or whatnot, or returning something that you ain't want, go ahead. I appreciate you as well. So, with that being said, quick recap from Week 15. Texans lose to the Colts again. Uh, so it was a little bit on the deja vu side with this game, meaning that the Texans, point blank, the Texans had a whole bunch of opportunities within this game to just take over, or what I'm saying, just really put this game away for them, or just secure a victory, but they just didn't capitalize on the opportunities that was given to them. So one bright spot out of this was David Johnson. He's been dealing with issues, being on a COVID list and all this other stuff, but he had a huge receiving day, 11 catches on the day, over 100 something yards. So big ups to him for that, really coming through on that particular aspect of the game. So but yeah, that's pretty much my recap, man. They just didn't capitalize when they had to, and hey, it is what it is. So moving on to some topics that popped up during the week. So one topic that's surely been coming up over these last couple of weeks for obvious reasons is sitting the players down for the last couple of weeks. So Texans, they've been eliminated from playoff contention. A lot of the games that they have left, there's really nothing for them, for the Texans to get out of them. They have the Bengals this Sunday, and that's a game where Bengals, they're out of the playoffs too. So what's there to do other than twiddle their thumbs, I guess. So, but also the Titans. Yeah, the Titans are next week. And so the Titans may or may not be playing tough, depending on how their weekend goes, because they're still, trying to clinch the AFC South along with the Indianapolis Colts. And so obviously those two teams won't be playing head to head. Given even with that, they still gotta, Titans still have to make sure that they're keeping pace. They have to make sure that they're keeping their foot on the pedal. Most likely, keeping their foot on the pedal, and that all depends on what they got going on this weekend against the Packers. So, but as for the Texans goes, like win, lose, or draw, like it doesn't matter. We can go the route of oh, you gotta spoil this team and blah blah blah, but it's like, I mean, that should have been your motivation against the Colts. So now you want to, use that on the last game of the regular season against something that pretty much is out of your hands. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be tough, especially a couple of days after New Year's. It might be still lit. So, but yeah, as far as sitting the players go, it's just something to be really considered these last two games. They need to really figure it out, because number one, they didn't look like they were ready to play in that first quarter against the Colts. I'm gonna be honest with you, they dropped to a huge deficit, and yeah, they climbed into the game slowly but surely. But I mean, it's the way they played. Like the rest of the way, it was like they could have avoided that altogether and just played hard in the first quarter. So they just look, just tired, worn down from the season. And yeah, it's been a long season and all this other stuff. So it looked like it's just really taxed on them mentally in that particular game. They're not the franchise is not doing anybody any favors health wise. You don't want to put, like I said, these next 2 weeks is going to be a lot of these players are going to be playing tough. So I mentioned the Titans game. For sure, they're probably going to be playing tough, either to clinch the AFC South or trying to move a little bit up in their playoff seeding. But I, the Cincinnati Bengals, shit, they were they were acting, crazy on the Steelers, man. Like they were bullying the Steelers almost. Juju, he got hit for, his little logo dances and all that good stuff, man. So it's like you don't know what kind of mindset that team is going to be on. You don't know if they're going to be like turned up all the way, coming in on the road. Um, just to kind of play a game to finish off the season. You don't know how their energy is, so it's something that you really just got to consider when putting these starters out here, because there's some starters that they might be here for next couple of years. There's some starters that might kind of might have a contract under like a couple of years, but they might have decisions coming up surrounding them. So in the event that you want to trade somebody, it's going to be hard to trade them if they suffered a knee injury like 16. You know what I'm saying? So I think it would best be served if you really want to put these guys out here, it's because they really want there. They really want to give their all and put their energy into going out and winning this and closing out the season on a high note. But I mean, I think coaches can kind of tell like if players are just not in it or whatever. So I think they would really have to like focus on that and just kind of get a temperature of how the team is doing. So I would definitely say I'm for sitting them this weekend. Sitting however many starters you can this weekend. Whether it's Watson, JJ, Merciless, man, all of them. Yeah, man. Like it's been a tough season, so I mean, I think they deserve a break. There's nothing else to play for, so they got to do it. If they got to sit them down, you got to sit them down. Next news item: Deshaun Watson, Larry Tunsil, made the Pro Bowl, second consecutive Pro Bowl for Tunsil, third consecutive for Watson. Congrats to both of those guys. Because of COVID, there won't be no actual like Pro Bowl game. This is the recognition that they're going to get right now. So, popping fireworks already. So yeah, just the recognition that they're going to get. But congrats to both of those guys. Well deserved, obviously, for Watson. Well deserved for him. As I mentioned earlier, it's been a rough season. I mean, the last time we had a losing season was his rookie year. But he got injured. So now is excuse me. Yeah, so that was the last time last time we had a was Watson's rookie season. So he got hurt and all that, and now he's in through a losing record. So that's something interesting to see, to just kind of see like his demeanor, how he plays through a tough time on a professional level. You know what I'm saying? So big ups to both of those guys. Keep up the good work. So last thing I want to touch on as far as news items is the interviews this week. So Texans interviewed Jim Caldwell, interviewed Marvin Lewis. Both of those got Caldwell and Lewis for the head coaching position. They interviewed Matt Bezergin. If I just added him on LinkedIn, so if he sees this, I'll let him correct me or whatnot in case I said it wrong. But I'm gonna go with Matt Bezergin for the general manager position. Bezergin, the director of player personnel, currently for the Texans. So let me just start off with my takes on Caldwell. So actually, it kind of ties into Lewis as well. So I think these guys are, they are good coaches. They were good coaches, whatever. They've both been out of the league for a couple. years now. Uh, okay, so don't know what that was about, but let me just go ahead and wrap this up. Um, so yeah, the thing about Caldwell, he started off. He had a great start as a head coach. He actually took, if I'm not mistaken, yeah, I think it was his first year that he took the Colts to a Super Bowl. Um, but after that, it was like things just kind of dropped off here and there, and I mean he lucked up with the Super Bowl thing because he had Peyton Manning, like you know what I'm saying. So I mean, yeah, you're gonna go places if if Peyton Manning is on your team. But after that, he got the Detroit Lions job, and so he took them to a playoff berth his first year. They missed it the next season, and he went 9-7. The following year, took him to a playoff game. Uh, but after that, he finished 9-7 again and missed the playoffs. So um, while I think these guys are good coaches and all this other stuff, but I mean, I don't know if the fans are going to be ready for it because this is my thing. He finished 9-7. His last two seasons, and you could argue whether or not the Lions had a decent squad around that time. But if he happens to go 9-7 again with this Texans team, it's going to come down to like you know do we keep him? Do we let him go? You know what I'm saying? Because he's won. I mean, he's obviously won playoff games because of because of the Super Bowl, and I believe the following year he took them to the AFC title game. Yeah, actually, oh no, that was the divisional round. I'm tripping. So, yeah, he got him in the divisional round against the New York Jets, and they lost. But um, my thing is like how long of a leash is he going to have, considering he's a veteran head coach. He should know what he's doing. uh, and from what the a lot of the Lions from what a lot of the Lions players were kind of glorifying about, they were like, oh, we like Jim Caldwell. And this was you know around this was amidst the whole Matt Patricia controversy. There were players going on record saying, there was nothing wrong with the coach, referring to Jim Caldwell or whatever, and yada yada yada. And I think that's cool, but that's compared to like a coach who went just completely like just that was just horrible. He lost his whole team. I don't even think he had past five, maybe probably didn't even get past 6 wins, um, 6 or 7 wins his entire time he was there. I'm talking about Matt Patricia, he probably didn't even get past 5 or 6 wins the entire time he was there as a head coach. So it was like, you know, um, comparing him to what Jim Caldwell did. I mean, I don't think that's a measure of success of what Caldwell can do for the Texans. But um, I think it'll. I don't know. I think it'll be an interesting. I think it'll be interesting if they take a chance on him. So compared him that to a Marvin Lewis, who also interviewed for the job. Um, Marvin Lewis, he was the Bengals head coach from '03 to '08. Um, how many times did man make the playoffs? Down 7 playoff games. Yeah, 7 playoff games, 0-7 in all of them. So I know that's not gonna fly. Now, here's the interesting thing where it might. I can see. Here's the interesting thing where it might can kind of get them in the door. So, like well, I mentioned with Caldwell, it's like can you argue that the Lions were better than the Texans? At the time that they made the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? And so here's another argument. Like the squad right now, um, obviously the the squad right the squad right now, Caldwell could probably take to the playoffs. I can give him that, and that's like if we keep everybody this season. If we bring back Fuller, if we bring back Cooks, or I think keep Cooks or whatever, we bring back Randall Cobb, all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? I think they can really just if keep JJ. I think Jim Caldwell can really take this team to the playoffs. Will he win a playoff game? That's where they kind of start and stop at. But same thing with Marvin Lewis. I think Marvin Lewis can take this team, to the playoffs. But for him, will he win a playoff game? And I think that's the thing that's gonna. I think that's the thing that might be a little cautious, as far as like choosing these guys as head coaches, because it's like this. I mean, they can take this group to the playoffs. I mean, even though this group didn't go to the playoffs this year, I think with a solid off season, I don't know how they're going to do preseason next year, but if they have a preseason, everybody gets in the rhythm and all that other stuff on the offense. This group, that I think either one of those coaches can take this group. They can take them to the playoffs. So it's not, but will they win the playoff game? And that's the whole other thing, and that's really kind of like I would say it's kind of maybe it may be a deal breaker. It might not be, and that's the point because it's like we're getting into the playoffs all these times and nobody's winning games, or we're just winning one game ever so often. You know what I'm saying? So it's like that's what Bill O'Brien did. Like he got us to the playoffs a few times, but we lost first round. But then we'll get back. We lost a couple of the first round games, but then we'll get back in there in some other years and we'll get blown out or beat in the second round. So just things like that. Can they get us over the hump? I think is going to be a more important question and probably factor more into what they can do for us. What they can do as head coaches as far as taking this team to the next level. So that's all I got to say about that. I'm gonna speak a little bit on Matt Bezirgan. So going through his bio a little bit, it seems like he was, he was with the Jets previous before us. And so he worked in their player personnel department, worked as a college scout, all types of things. So one thing I do like about him, he's within the organization. I think that's a plus. I guess with, player personnel, he has the experience or whatever. Just he's seen things in this organization. Well, he's been with, the Jets, and I would say the Jets. This is like I think he's been with like the 09, 2010 Jets, and I would say they're probably similar a little bit to the Texans as far as like maybe just trying to look for a way to, get over a hump or anything like that. But I think around the time that he came in, they were like barely drafting key pieces. He was there when they drafted Mark Sanchez. All types of talent on that team. Just him being in the nation, he's probably seeing what to do and what not to do. So he probably got his head focused on where he really wants to take this franchise and where he could probably even correct some of the mistakes that have been made in the past. So I think he's a solid candidate as far when coming from that aspect. So I'll be looking forward to seeing if he can beat out Louis Riddick for it. So that's what I got to say about that. So with that being said, man, usually I have like a game breakdown, but man, the Texans are playing the Bengals, man. it's no real breakdowns for that. It pretty much goes like this. Uh, if their starters are healthy, if the Texans want to win this game, they're gonna have to play like that from the beginning. That's the only key thing. This is a Bengals team that, they're pretty high off. They're pretty high on beating the Steelers on Monday night, and so if the Texans really wanted to like get down and just, you know, play this game, just try to close the season out on a high note, then they just really got to be aggressive the first quarter and continue that aggression throughout. This, you know, Bengals are coming in with a backup quarterback, so I mean, the defense should have a the defense should have a good game. Omenahu, Tyrell Adams, Cunningham, JJ, Lonnie Johnson, man, those guys should have a good day, but I mean, it's up to them. Offense should have a good day. The blocking should be a little bit better in this game. So, but all of that has to be done at the start of the first quarter, all the way to the end of the fourth quarter. If you're gonna play the whole game. Don't just, play in the second quarter, play in the third quarter. No, go in there, do what you got to do. So. But anyway, that's all I got for y'all. If you're watching this on YouTube, subscribe to my channel. If you're watching this on Facebook, go ahead and like my page for more updates. I'm Brandon Simmons from BrandonSimmons.biz. Holla black.